Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon. Young and Restless preview. Summer is about to go all Phyllis, and possibly reunite a couple of exes in the process. If you ever had any doubt that when push comes to shove, the young and the restless Summer really is her mother's daughter, the week of July 15 should clear up the matter. And we mean decisively. Kyle's ex-wife has been on the verge of going ballistic, if not just actually being ballistic, since he hired Claire to be son Harrison's nanny. Kinda understandable, considering the role that Claire played in her Aunt Jordan's torment of the Newmans, but also kinda not, considering the fact that Claire was brainwashed from the day she was born. Give her a break already. Anyway, add to that tension Kyle's plan to move out of the Abbott mansion. As far as Summer is concerned, that has gone over like a lead balloon filled with dynamite. In the week ahead, a power struggle develops on Monday between Summer and Claire, which you would think couldn't possibly go well for the latter, no matter how many earthworms Mary Poppins has dug up with Harrison. But by Wednesday, Summer is pulling ideas from her scheming mom's playbook, so maybe she's so desperate that she's the one who comes out on the losing end. In any case, we wouldn't want to be Claire, because if Summer is pulling a Phyllis, it ain't gonna go well for her. Just ask Christine, or Sharon, or Diane, or well, pretty much anyone who has ever crossed her. Heck, ask Tara if it's visitor's day in prison. Interestingly, later in the week, Phyllis herself butts heads with Nick over their daughter's actions. Considering how recently the redhead was throwing longing glances at her former husband, and calling him hot dad, the conflict could be just the thing to strike a match and reheat. Fact. If nothing else, you've gotta admit that the on-time marrieds have history together. In the sweltering heat of a Genoa City summer, the tension was palpable. The Abbott mansion, usually a beacon of familial warmth, had become a cauldron of secrets, lies, and betrayals. Summer Newman, with her striking blonde hair and piercing blue eyes, stood at the window, staring out into the sprawling garden. Her mind was racing, her heart pounding in her chest. She was about to take a page out of her mother Phyllis Summer's playbook, and the stakes had never been higher. Summer had always admired her mother's fiery spirit and unyielding determination. Phyllis was a force of nature, a woman who knew what she wanted and wasn't afraid to go after it, no matter the cost. And now, with her world unraveling, Summer was ready to channel that same relentless energy. Her marriage to Kyle Abbott was hanging by a thread. The love they once shared had been tainted by secrets and lies, leaving a chasm between them that seemed impossible to bridge. But Summer wasn't ready to give up, not yet. She had a plan, one that would either save her marriage or burn everything to the ground. The first step was to confront the source of her misery. Tara Locke. Tara had been a thorn in her side ever since she arrived in Genoa City, claiming that Kyle was the father of her son Harrison. Summer had tried to be understanding, to support Kyle as he navigated the complexities of fatherhood, but Tara had other plans. She had been manipulating Kyle, using Harrison as a pawn to drive a wedge between them. Summer's plan was simple: expose Tara's lies and deceit. She had spent weeks gathering evidence, digging into Tara's past, and she was finally ready to confront her, but she knew she couldn't do it alone. She needed an ally, someone who knew Tara's weaknesses and could help her bring her down. That's where Billy Abbott came in. Billy had his own complicated history with Tara, and he was more than willing to help Summer. They met at the Grand Phoenix, where Phyllis had given them a private room to discuss their strategy. "Are you sure you want to do this?" Billy asked, his eyes filled with concern. Summer nodded, her jaw set with determination. "I don't have a choice, Billy. Tara has been playing us all for fools, and it's time she gets what's coming to her." Billy leaned back in his chair, a smile playing at the corners of his mouth. "You're more like your mother than you realize." Summer took that as a compliment. She was ready to fight, ready to do whatever it took to save her marriage and protect her family, and if that meant going all Phyllis on Tara, then so be it. Their plan was set in motion the next day. Summer had arranged for a meeting with Tara at Society under the guise of wanting to discuss Harrison's future. but she had also tipped off the media, ensuring that their confrontation would be public and undeniable. Tara arrived, her demeanor cool and collected, but Summer could see the flicker of uncertainty in her eyes. "What's this about, Summer?" she asked, her voice laced with suspicion. Summer took a deep breath, summoning all the strength she had. "This is about you, Tara, about the lies you've been telling, the games you've been playing. It's time the truth came out." Before Tara could respond, Billy stepped forward, a folder in his hand. "We have proof, Tara. Proof of your affair with Ashlyn Locke. Proof that you've been manipulating Kyle. It's over." Tara's face turned pale, her eyes darting around the room, searching for an escape. But there was none. The media was there, cameras flashing, reporters scribbling notes. Her carefully constructed facade was crumbling, and there was nothing she could do to stop it. As the truth came to light, the fallout was immediate. Tara's reputation was shattered, and Kyle, seeing her for who she truly was, turned his back on her. Summer had won, but at what cost? She had fought for her marriage, but the battle had left scars that would take time to heal. In the aftermath, Summer found herself at a crossroads. She had proven that she was a force to be reckoned with, but she also realized that she didn't want to become her mother completely. She wanted to fight for her happiness, but she also wanted to find a way to do it without losing herself in the process. As she stood on the balcony of the Grand Phoenix, looking out over the city, she felt a sense of peace wash over her. She had taken a stand, had fought for what she believed in, and she had come out stronger on the other side. And in the process, she had not only saved her marriage but had also found a renewed sense of purpose and determination. Summer was ready for whatever came next. She knew the road ahead wouldn't be easy, but she was more than ready to face it head-on. With the spirit of Phyllis Summers guiding her, she was unstoppable. In Genoa City, summer's heat wasn't the only thing stirring trouble. The town's atmosphere buzzed with excitement, secrets, and tension as the sun blazed down, casting long shadows over the lives of its residents. Amidst this swirling vortex stood Summer Newman, poised to shake things up in ways that only a Newman could. Summer had always been a force to be reckoned with, a trait she inherited from her mother, Phyllis Summers. Phyllis was known for her fiery temperament, her relentless pursuit of what she wanted, and her ability to leave chaos in her wake. It seemed that this summer, Summer herself was about to go full Phyllis, and Genoa City would never be the same. It all began one sweltering afternoon at Crimson Lights. Summer sat at a corner table, her fingers drumming impatiently on the surface as she sipped an iced coffee. Her mind raced with thoughts and schemes, her eyes flicking toward the door every few seconds. She was waiting for Kyle Abbott, her ex-husband, and the current thorn in her side. They had a complicated history, one that was as tumultuous as it was passionate, and today she intended to confront it head-on. Kyle arrived, his usually confident stride slowed by the weight of anticipation. He saw Summer and hesitated, taking a deep breath before making his way to her. Summer's eyes locked onto his, and a spark of the old chemistry flared between them, igniting the air with unspoken words and unresolved feelings. "Summer," Kyle greeted, sliding into the seat across from her. "Kyle," she replied, her tone cool, but her eyes blazing. "We need to talk." He nodded, his jaw tightening. "About what?" "About us, about everything," she said, leaning forward. "We've been dancing around each other for too long. It's time to lay it all out." Kyle's eyes narrowed slightly, and he nodded. "All right. Let's do it." As they delved into their complicated past, rehashing old arguments and rekindling buried emotions, it became clear that neither of them had truly moved on. Their conversation was intense, charged with the kind of energy that could either reignite a romance or burn everything to the ground. Summer's heart pounded in her chest, the heat of the moment mirrored by the sweltering weather outside. Meanwhile, across town, Phyllis Summers was concocting a plan of her own. She had always been a master manipulator, and this summer, she was determined to use her skills to fix what she believed was broken. Her daughter's happiness was at stake, and Phyllis wouldn't rest until she saw Summer smiling again. She knew Kyle was the key, and she had a feeling that a reunion might just be on the horizon. But Phyllis also knew that she needed to push things in the right direction. Phyllis reached out to Jack Abbott, Kyle's father, under the pretense of discussing business. But as they sipped their drinks at society, it became clear that Phyllis had more personal matters on her mind. "Jack, don't you think it's time Kyle and Summer faced their feelings?" Phyllis asked, her eyes twinkling with mischief. Jack raised an eyebrow, intrigued. "What are you suggesting, Phyllis?" She leaned in, lowering her voice conspiratorially. "I'm suggesting we give them a little nudge. Create a situation where they have to confront their past and their feelings for each other. It's clear they still care deeply, even if they won't admit it."